Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, the waters of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us all this truth through a well. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning, increasing in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. I wanted to get into, not being loved in this world. Alright, because we don't have, this world is not our master, and we don't side with this world, with the things of the world, I should say. But this is Luke 6 and 27. I'm going to start it here. But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. Which happens quite a bit, man. And recently I've been going through some things, and that's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been noticing. People just want to use you and, just drop you as soon as they can, or if anything goes good your way, they're with you. But as soon as something bad starts to happen, they leave you. Why? Because during good, they want to be there to rejoice, right? And during the tough times, they don't want to be there because they don't want to be, any type of service or any type of help to you, And that's the way of the world. Their mindset is, what can you do for me? And not, what can I do for you? So, there's plenty of scriptures we could bring up with that. One being in the Apocrypha, okay, where it says, choose your friends wisely, which being in this truth is us choosing our friends, being other men of the Lord, and even though we have friends of the flesh, that are of the world, we don't really feel too comfortable confiding in them like we do with men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, So it says Luke 6:27, but I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. Alright, so when you go into that word love, which is not the Christian way of saying love, the Christian way of saying love is forgive and forget and, love them and continue to love them, but there's a balance to things. Okay, because if this person is only using you for wickedness, okay, then it's part of the balance is to cut it off. Part of the balance is to cut it off. So that word love is agape. Okay, agapo, which has two meanings to it. One is selfless. Okay, so you don't see your own interest in it. But two, of persons to welcome, to entertain, okay, to be fond of, to love dearly, of things, to be well pleased, to be contented at or with a thing. It also tells you in scriptures, okay, that you're supposed to put heap of coals, right? Which means what? You're supposed to continue to do good, right? Even though they're wicked, and even though they try to turn things on you, you're supposed to do good, so that you can have a good report. So it says 1 Corinthians 4, and let me start off at 7. It says, for who maketh thee to differ from another? And what hast thou that thou didst not receive? Now if thou didst not receive it, or didst receive it, why dost thou glory as if thou hast not received it? Now ye are full, now ye are rich, ye have resigned as kings without us, and I would to the Most High ye did resign, that we also might reign. Let me read that again. 1 Corinthians 4 and 8. Now ye are full, now ye are rich, ye have reigned as kings without us, and I would to Yahweh ye did reign, that we also might reign with you. For I think that Yahweh has sent us forth has set forth us, the apostles, last, as they were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. Okay? So it says, of persons to welcome, to entertain, to be fond of, to love dearly. Okay? So yeah, we're not supposed to entertain these devils, okay, with their folly. Okay? But we are entertaining, and we are entertainment. Okay? Because that's how they view us. You know? They view us as entertaining. You know? Not to speak well of us, but the exact opposite. Okay? The exact opposite. To speak ill of us. You know? It says, we are fools for Mashiach's sake, but we are wise in Mashiach. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. See? Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. You know, which Yahushua spoke about that. And he said, he gave blessings to those that clothed him when he was naked, and gave him water when he was athirst, and gave him food when he hungered. Okay? And gave him a dwelling place where he had no dwelling place. You know, which means what? The brotherhood, man. That's what it really points down to. Okay? That's what it really points down to. You know, being brotherly. That's the selflessness and the agape love that we're supposed to have for each other. You know? Not as the heathen have love, which the heathen have love with their mouth. They tell you that they love you. They tell you God bless you. You know, they tell you to be well. You know? But they don't give you something to be well about, right? They tell you, I hope you find clothes in your nakedness, okay? But they don't give you clothing. I hope you find filling, something to fill you up in your hunger, okay? They don't give you water when you're thirsty, okay? And I'm not talking, you know, just physical, okay? Also mainly spiritual. Okay? Mainly spiritual. They don't have the information that we need. Okay? And what's that information? It's truth. You know? So if you have this truth, they're not going to speak well of you. If you have this truth and you live by this truth, they're not going to do their best to try and promote you and you know, have high regard for you. You know? They're going to try and push you down, man. And the demon's job, okay, the demon's job is to follow through on those acts. You know, they might jump on somebody, and that person might try to bring you down and make you feel like a less of a person. You know, they'll try and set you up for failure. They'll try to set you up for a certain way, okay, so that you may be distracted by this truth, man. You know? But this labor that we're in is for our salvation, okay? Because we want salvation, because we want righteousness, because we want Yahweh's laws, Yahweh's statutes, Yahweh's commandments, and we want Yahweh's reign, you know? So they try to put more on you to weigh you down so you don't get to that point, you know? Which reminds me of Space Jam, you know, when Michael Jordan, all right, runs and, you know, from before half court, he jumps for the, you know, which is a hybrid cartoon, you know, but as he jumps, he has those monsters, okay, so what they call themselves, they try to weigh him down, you know, and he remembers that in that place, he can do the impossible, okay, and what does he do? He stretches out his arm, all right, into the bucket, you know, and they win the game. But that similitude that I'm using is the similitude that I see in this, being in this truth. We're going to be weighed down, but with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, anything is possible, man. You know? So even as dark as it may seem, you know, in the place that you're at, with the spirit and power that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai possess, they can make even your enemies friends. You see? So you stretching out your hands to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that's going to get you there, man. You know? That's why we're fools for Yahushai HaMashiach's sake. Okay? Because we seem stupid. All right? We seem stupid because we're lost in this truth. You know, but we're not actually lost. We're found. And we know what we're doing. But to the people that don't know what we're doing, we seem lost. We seem stupid. You know? Because we're wise in Yahushai. We're wise in this truth. You know? And as wise men, what manner of faith should we ought to have? Right? It says, even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst and are naked, and are buffeted and have no certain dwelling place, and labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it, being defamed, we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. You know? And a brother made a video about you know, who they trust, and on the left hand side they had a serial killer that was clean shaved, that was you know, in some type of uniform, or had a button up shirt, you know, and he was a Caucasian man. And on the right hand side, they had a picture of a man. They had a turban on, okay, and then he had a full grown beard, long beard. You know, and everybody said that the guy with the beard was probably, you know, somebody bad, based off of the beard that he had, and based off of how scary he looked, is what they said. You know, and they chose the latter, which was a serial killer. You know, but that's how people see it, man. They judge you by your looks. Okay? They judge you by not how you carry yourself. Okay, not what you bring to the table. They judge you based off of their perception of what you could potentially be. Okay, so, you know, me, I have somewhat of a long beard, not that long, you know, a little bit of a scruff, you know, and here in my workplace, you know, as soon as they come in and they see a so-called Latino, all right, with a long beard, right away they become hostile, you know, which we're supposed to, you know, not love them. We're not supposed to love Edomites, okay? But we're supposed to rejoice in this truth, man. And that's what, you know, truly has brought and opened my eyes to see that these devils, all right, truly have a type of fear. You know, they truly fear the men of the Lord deep down. You know, so as we're persevere through this truth, you know, we're being called names. We're looked down upon like we're trash. Okay, we're looked like we're filth of the earth. You know, when in reality, we are the kings of the kingdom to come. You know, we're the rulers of that kingdom to come. That's going to be for an eternity, man. You know, so those perceptions that the flesh temporarily has, you know, we need to start putting those things aside, growing in this truth. Okay? Because Esau Edom, that's what he wants you to see. He wants you to see the things now how they are. Right? He wants his candy now. You know, and that's what he has trained our people to see. You know, I want my money now. I want my candy now. I want my blessing now. You know, I don't want it later. You know, I want now. I want salvation right now. And that's what led Esau Edom to lose, okay, the salvation and the promise. You know, he wanted food now. He couldn't wait. He didn't have faith. And what happened? He ended up giving it to Jacob. You know, he ended up giving it to Jacob. You see? So same thing with this truth, man. A lot of people have put it in their minds, you know, I need help now. but we need to persevere, have patience, have confidence, which means con means with, and fidence, all right, that word goes into fidelity, which means faith. So you have to be with faith, even when we're being defamed and treated like trash. 1 Corinthians 4:12, and labor working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being persecuted, we suffer it. We don't point fingers, all right, we don't try to go after the next, we suffer it. That means we're patient, right? We have that patience to be persecuted, to be defamed. Verse 13, being defamed, we entreat, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things unto this day. I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. Okay, that's what's going to come when you come into this truth, man. It's not like a Christian thing where you say, I love God, and then all of a sudden, you're making money and you receive blessings after blessings. It's not like that, man. This blessing is bitter in a sense. Okay, like scriptures say, it's as sweet as honey when you first receive it, but then after you kind of settle in, it starts getting bitter. Because you learn you're an Israelite, and you increase in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and you're being able to break down scriptures. You're able to see this truth as it is. You're not blinded anymore. But then as time progresses and everything starts to settle down, it starts becoming bitter. You're in this truth, but it's no longer sweet. It's sweet to us. We rejoice, of course we do. But it's bitter because of all the hell that we start to catch. So it says, Luke 6:27, but I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you. Okay, that means Esau, Edom. We know Esau hates Jacob. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and to the scattered abroad. We know they hate us, right? But even I am at workplace, I still even open doors for Edomites. I'm courteous, and I speak to them formally. I don't tell them, tell them off or anything. It says, bless them that curse you. We're not really supposed to bless Edomites, but 2/3 of Israel are also going to act like that. And pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek offer also the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods ask them not again. And as ye would that men should do to you, do you also to them likewise. Because the Most High puts everything into account, man. And if you're found blameless, okay, and all right, you count all this hell, and you didn't, put matters into your own hands and try to go against somebody or try to, bring somebody else down with you, you endured all of it, you took all of it, this is your blessing. Because the Most High tells you the Most High has a book. He keeps all the records in, So we got to make sure we're blameless in the eyes of the Most High, man. Because if he sees, okay, you caught all this hell, but look at all the hell that you gave back. As a man of the Lord, you can't do that. We're supposed to be peacemakers, man. Even though deep down we all know what we would love to do when the time comes. But we have to be peacemakers. Be as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves, man. So let me end it there, because there's a couple things on that one. Matthew 10, and let me start off at 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. So it's already been written. This stuff was going to happen. Wolves, they don't want to play around with sheep and hey, sheep, how are you doing today? How can I help you? That's not how they are, right? Wolves just want to eat you and tear you apart and use you for what you have, man. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. Okay, we're not supposed to take matters into our own hands. You see, it says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Okay, that's their whole agenda. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Which is who? Them being the Israelites, and Gentiles being the natural born. All right, so we go here, ethnos, which is a multitude. Okay, and what's that multitude? Outside of Israel, whether of men of beasts associated or living together, you know, which can also be associated with the Israelites that are part of the heathen people. You know, it tells you that in Isaiah chapter 1, ye shall be ashamed for the oaks which ye have desired. That word oaks is strong men or leadership, and for the gardens that ye have chosen, and those gardens can be seen as nations, you know, so those nations that you chose over your own, either America or either whatever it is, you know. It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. And the